Karma doesn't negotiate payment plans. Someone's world is imploding in slow motion as the aftermath of their decisions materializes mercilessly. Their face tells the entire story, pure, unfiltered shock, as reality delivers exactly what they earned, not what they expected. While they stand paralyzed in the wreckage they architected, the universe delivers its immutable lesson. Every choice carries weight, every action demands balance. The safety nets they counted on have disintegrated. The excuses that once worked are powerless now. The privileged immunity they assumed was permanent has been revoked without warning. Remember that day when they thought you would collapse at their feet, begging them to reconsider. They expected tears, desperate pleas, the usual drama that ego-driven souls anticipate when they believe. They hold all the power, but something within you, something ancient and powerful, rose up instead. You simply stood there, steady as the mountain, silent as the deepest ocean. You watched them make their choice with eyes that held neither hatred nor desperation, just knowing. They mistook your dignity for weakness, your silence for surrender. They had no idea they were witnessing the activation of your divine sovereignty. The universe held its breath as you merely nodded and turned away. No running after them, no bargaining, no compromise of your sacred worth. They had grown accustomed to your pursuit, addicted to your attention, dependent on your energy, and suddenly, nothing. The cosmic cord was cut by your hand, not theirs. That simple act of standing firm created ripples through the universe that are only now returning to shore. What looked like an ordinary moment was actually extraordinary. It was the moment the divine recognized your readiness to step into your power. The moment your energy declared, "My worth is non-negotiable." And now it begins. Their slow, excruciating awakening to what they've done. The universe never rushes karma. It allows it to unfold with perfect timing for maximum impact. They're experiencing the first tremors of what will become an earthquake, of regret. Have you seen it yet? That look on their face when they unexpectedly encountered you. The way their eyes widened, their words stumbled, their confident facade cracked just enough to reveal the chaos beneath. The blood drained from their face as they beheld what they once held in their hands and carelessly discarded. Every morning they wake up to the gnawing realization that what they chose instead of you is merely a hollow imitation. A counterfeit. Connection. The matching outfits don't create matching souls. The surface-level compatibility doesn't generate depth. The impressive status doesn't translate to genuine happiness. And worst of all, they know it was their choice, their decision, their ego-driven moment that cannot be undone. The horror is written across their energy field like cosmic graffiti that only gets more visible with time, not less. It's not just you they miss. It's the entire universe they could have inhabited with you. The timeline where your combined energies created something truly magnificent. The reality where your complementary gifts multiplied rather than merely added up. They're not just grieving a relationship or connection, they're mourning an entire existence that can now only live in their imagination. The home you would have built together, the morning rituals that would have sustained you both, the private language only you two would have understood, the legacy you would have created side by side. Every achievement you reach without them is another dagger of awareness. Every time your name is mentioned in circles of success, their soul contracts in recognition of what could have been their story too. Every time they see evidence of your growth, your expansion, your becoming, they are confronted with the parallel life that could have been theirs if they had chosen differently. What makes this particularly unbearable for them is seeing how naturally it all unfolds for you. The ease with which you attract what they struggle to find, the authentic connections that form around you while they exhaust themselves manufacturing pale imitations, the opportunities that seek you out, while they chased desperately after lesser versions. Their poor choice wasn't contained to just one area of life. It has contaminated everything. The poison of that decision has seeped into every domain of their existence, creating a pattern of loss they can no longer ignore. In their career, they're watching opportunities disappear that would have flourished had they aligned with your energy. Projects falter without your insight. Teams lack cohesion without your natural leadership. Ideas stagnate without your creative spark. What they dismissed as just a relationship issue has become a professional nightmare as well. Their social world has contracted rather than expanded. The exciting new connections they anticipated have proven shallow and conditional. The vibrant community they imagined joining has excluded them from its inner circle. The brilliant networking they expected has devolved into superficial exchanges. Meanwhile, you are surrounded by souls who recognize and celebrate your authentic light. Even their health and vitality suffer in your absence. The stress of maintaining false appearances drains their life force. The effort of pretending they made the right choice depletes their energy reserves. The constant comparison between what is and what could have been creates physical symptoms they cannot explain to doctors who can only treat the body, not the soul. Their spiritual connection has weakened rather than strengthened. The path they chose has led them further from their true purpose, not closer. The guidance they receive is muddled and contradictory. The clarity they seek remains elusive. While your connection to Source strengthens daily, theirs withers from neglect and misalignment. Hold that thought for a moment. I need your attention for something very important. Only a few slots remain in the star chamber of the Obsidian Inner Order, and this is exclusively for the most serious among you. We've just released our most revealing video yet. Chosen One, I started a vortex. So can you? Where we expose the true beginnings of the astral atom network, how we broke free from cult programming, and the exact methods we used to reclaim our power. For the first time, we're revealing everything we know about personal power, healing yourself and healing others. No filters, no holding back. We have been quietly adding all the occult secrets we've collected over literal years of spiritual practice. The techniques and wisdom that transformed us from controlled pawns into conscious creators are now available to those ready to walk the same path. This is your invitation to watch this exclusive video and support our platform so we can continue growing our megaphone to reach other chosen ones waiting for activation. By joining the Obsidian Inner Order, you're not just gaining access to forbidden knowledge, you're becoming part of a movement that's rewriting reality itself. It's a 360 win for all of us, but you must act now while the Star Chamber still has openings. Link is in the description. Now they see with painful clarity what they once took for granted. Your energy, that indefinable quality that transforms spaces just by your presence in them. The way problems seemed less daunting when filtered through. Your perspective, the way possibilities expanded in your orbit. They search for it everywhere now. This quality they cannot name, but desperately miss. They seek it in new relationships, new environments, new experiences, only to be met with the same emptiness. Because what they're looking for isn't something that can be found externally. It was unique to your soul's frequency. Your support was unlike anything they'd experienced before or since. Not the enabling, codependent kind that feeds the ego. Not the performative kind that comes with conditions and expectations, but the genuine bedrock kind that strengthened their foundation while encouraging their growth. The kind that saw both who they were and who they could become. The connection you offered was the rarest of cosmic gifts, authentic, unforced, and aligned with highest truth. Now they exhaust themselves trying to manufacture with others what flowed naturally with you, only to discover that some things cannot be artificially created, no matter how much effort is applied. Their external world may project success and contentment, but behind closed doors, behind the carefully curated social media posts, behind the practiced smile, pure chaos reigns. Their inner world has become a landscape of increasing desperation. As the truth of what they've lost settles into their bones, the late-night messages they send when their defenses are down reveal the true state of their soul. The 3 a.m. thoughts that keep them staring at the ceiling, the impulsive reaching out that they often regret by morning light but cannot seem to stop themselves from doing. These are not the actions of someone at peace with their choices. Their friends have become unwilling therapists, forced to listen to endless variations of the same lament. Did I make a mistake? The constant comparisons, the thinly veiled inquiries about your life, the obvious fishing for information about your whereabouts and well-being. Those closest to them have grown weary of the obsession they cannot seem to shake. Their physical reaction when they unexpectedly encounter you tells the real story their words try to hide. The sudden paleness, the stammering speech, the inability to maintain eye contact, the nervous laughter that attempts to cover the sinking feeling in their stomach, the subtle trembling of hands quickly shoved into pockets, the beads of sweat forming despite comfortable room temperature, the rapid blinking as reality crashes through their carefully constructed delusions. Their body betrays what their pride tries to conceal with the raw honesty that only the physical vessel can provide. A visceral reaction beyond conscious control. This panic grows rather than diminishes with time because deep down they recognize a terrible truth. Some doors, once closed, cannot be reopened. Some choices create permanent consequences. Some opportunities, once declined, are never offered again. And this recognition is the source of their mounting horror. While they spiral downward, you continue to rise, not out of spite or revenge, but because you are finally aligned with your true path without the dead weight of someone who couldn't recognize your value. The universe rewards this alignment with abundance that appears almost magical to outside observers. The peace that surrounds you now isn't the passive peace of surrender, but the powerful peace of someone who knows exactly who they are and what they deserve. It's the unshakable certainty that comes not from ego, but from soul recognition of your own divine worth. Everything you touch now seems blessed with unusual success. Projects flourish, relationships deepen, opportunities multiply, resources appear precisely when needed. What others call luck or coincidence, you recognize as the natural result of finally honoring your true frequency without diluting it to make others comfortable. This elevation isn't temporary or conditional, it's the beginning of your true ascension. What they're witnessing isn't just a good phase you're going through, but the emergence of your authentic power that was always meant to be yours once. You stopped compromising it for those who couldn't appreciate its value. Your natural confidence grows more radiant, while their anxiety becomes increasingly difficult to disguise. Your calm certainty makes their desperate grasping all the more obvious. Your graceful movement through challenges highlights their tendency to crumble under far less pressure. Your genuine happiness emanates from within, requiring no external validation or performative displays. Meanwhile, their social media becomes an ever more obvious attempt to convince the world and themselves that they're thriving. The harder they try to prove their contentment, the more clearly their discontent shines through. Your community has become a reflection of the authentic energy you now embody without compromise. Soul-aligned individuals naturally gravitate toward your orbit, creating a support system built on mutual respect and genuine connection. Their social circle, by contrast, continues to shrink or fill with superficial relationships that leave them feeling more isolated than ever. Your future expands with possibilities, while theirs contracts with limitations. Your path brightens with clarity, while theirs clouds with confusion. Your energy increases with alignment, while theirs depletes with resistance. Everything about your diverging paths screams a truth they cannot escape. They chose wrong, and the universe is making sure they know it. What began as a vague sense of unease has crystallized into undeniable regret that grows sharper and more painful with each passing day. The initial excitement of their new choice has long faded, revealing the empty reality underneath that must now be faced in all its disappointing detail. Every morning brings fresh evidence that some mistakes cannot be undone. Some choices create permanent consequences. Some doors once closed remain sealed forever. The weight of this recognition sits heavy on their chest from the moment they wake, making even the simplest tasks feel like wading through mud. They watch helplessly as opportunities that aligned with the path they could have walked with you appear and disappear beyond their reach. Chances for growth, for connection, for advancement that would have been naturally available in your combined energy now taunt them with their inaccessibility. Their desperate attempts to convince others they made the right choice have become increasingly transparent and pitiful. The forced enthusiasm, the exaggerated positivity, the defensive reactions to innocent questions, those around them exchange knowing glances when they launch into yet another unprompted justification of their decision. Most devastating of all is the daily confrontation with the consequence of undervaluing what was freely offered to them. The special quality you brought, that indefinable essence they now recognize was rare and precious, haunts them with its absence in every interaction, every environment, every relationship they attempt to build. Their choice created not just a single consequence, but a cascading series of effects that continue to ripple outward, touching every aspect of their existence in ways they never anticipated. What seemed like a simple decision in the moment has revealed itself to be life-altering in its impact. Their career trajectory, once promising, has stalled or even reversed since aligning with the wrong energy. The opportunities that once flowed easily have dried to a trickle. The recognition they expected has gone to others. The advancement they anticipated has failed to materialize, and they cannot help but notice how your professional life flourishes in direct contrast. Their creative expression has lost its spark and authenticity. What once came naturally now feels forced and hollow. Ideas that previously flowed abundantly now arrive rarely and without vitality. Projects lack the magic that seemed so effortless when your energies were combined. The work they produce feels lifeless, even to them. Their relationships follow disturbing patterns that worsen rather than improve with time. The issues they blamed on you have mysteriously appeared in every subsequent connection, growing more pronounced rather than resolving. The qualities they claimed to want in a partner prove unsatisfying when actually found. The traits they criticized in you are now the very ones they desperately seek. Even their physical environment seems to reflect this misalignment. Living spaces feel unwelcoming despite decorative efforts. Possessions break with unusual frequency. Electronics malfunction without explanation. Vehicles develop mysterious problems. Plants wither despite careful attention, as though the material world itself is responding to the fundamental discord in their energy field. While they descend into the consequences of their choices, you have undergone a transformation of cosmic significance. The very experience that could have broken you has instead remade you into something more powerful than you previously imagined. Possible. Doors have opened that you couldn't have accessed while dragging the dead weight of someone who failed to recognize your value. Opportunities that perfectly match your gifts appear with such divine timing they take your breath away. Resources flow toward your vision without the desperate striving that once characterized your efforts. Your intuitive abilities have sharpened to extraordinary levels since removing their chaotic, discordant energy from your field. The guidance you receive comes through with crystal clarity. The knowing that leads your decisions proves consistently accurate. The visions of your path unfold exactly as foreseen. You trust your inner voice now without the second-guessing their doubt once created. Soul-aligned connections have entered your life, people who recognize your light immediately without explanation or convincing, who support your vision without needing to control it, who add to your energy rather than depleting it, who match your depth rather than fearing it. This is the caliber of connection you always deserved. Most significant is the clarity you've gained about your true calling. The purpose that always lived within you but was obscured by their limitations and projections now shines with undeniable brightness. You move toward it with confidence and ease, no longer hindered by someone who couldn't see the magnificence of your authentic path. Every morning, they wake to the same devastating awareness. This reality they've created is permanent. The bed they've made must now be slept in. The seeds they've planted must now bear their bitter fruit. The choice they made casually must now be lived with religiously. Their attempts to find someone who affects them as you did have proven futile and exhausting. Each new connection only highlights what's missing. Each new relationship only emphasizes the contrast. Each new environment only underscores the absence of the special quality that seemed so easy to dismiss when it was freely offered. The universe offers them constant reminders, small and large, of what they sacrifice for temporary ego gratification. Songs that mention your name play randomly in public places. Conversations unexpectedly turn to topics that remind them of you. Strangers who resemble you appear in their peripheral vision. Books fall open to passages that seem written specifically about their mistake. Dreams wake them in cold sweats with vivid scenarios of paths not taken. Random numbers on clocks and receipts mysteriously match dates significant to your connection. Social media algorithms hauntingly suggest your content despite their attempts to avoid it. Even the weather seems to mirror significant moments you shared. The same unusual rainbow, the identical pattern of clouds, the familiar quality of light that transports them instantly back to what they lost. The cosmos itself seems determined they not forget, using every available channel to reinforce the lesson they must learn. Most painful of all is watching your life unfold without them in it, seeing the joy they could have contributed to, but now only observe from a distance, witnessing the success they could have shared in, but now only hear about secondhand, imagining the moments they could have experienced, but now must only picture in their mind. This daily confrontation with regret isn't punishment from an external force, but the natural consequence of their own energy returning to them. The universe operates on perfect equilibrium. What goes out must return. They sent out the energy of rejection, dismissal, and undervaluation. Now they receive it back multiplied, not as vengeance but as cosmic balance. Let them marinate in the consequences of their choices. Let them stew in the reality they created. Let them simmer in the realization that some opportunities come only once in a lifetime. Their discomfort is not your concern. It's the universe's perfect system of balance in action. Your focus now lies not on their regret, but on your continued elevation. The divine orchestration that removed them from your path did so with purpose. Their absence created the exact space needed for your expansion. Their departure cleared the energetic room required for your authentic power to finally breathe and stretch to its full cosmic height. What felt like rejection was actually protection of the highest order. Your sovereignty was never dependent on their recognition of it. Your power never required their acknowledgement to exist. Your path was always meant to extend far beyond their limited vision of what was possible for you. Their presence in your story was temporary, a catalyst for growth, not the destination. The energy you once spent trying to prove your worth to someone incapable of recognizing it is now directed toward endeavors that matter, toward the legacy you're building, toward the souls you're meant to impact, toward the unique contribution only your specific frequency can offer this planet at this time. The lessons their departure taught you remain valuable. How to stand firm in your truth, how to recognize your non-negotiables, how to distinguish between those who value your essence and those who merely want your energy. These lessons serve as protection as you move forward into increasingly rarefied levels of connection and creation. Remember this truth as you witness their mounting regret. You were never responsible for saving them from themselves, never obligated to rescue them from the consequences of their choices, never required to diminish your light so they could feel comfortable in their darkness. Your only responsibility was and is to your own soul's highest expression. Let the cosmic scales balance themselves without your intervention. Continue walking your path of power with eyes focused not on what's behind you, but on the magnificent horizon that continues to expand before you with each sovereign step you take. The universe has spoken. The message has been delivered. The truth has been revealed. You have someone mortified at the consequences of their choices, and that is exactly as it should be.